Yep. I'm so with it. Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes they'll still be on you, or they may go around, but you just do it again and they off.
He said, "Oh, fucked up."
Yeah.
Don't let them
It
tap
was
them
right there.
pockets real
You
quick.
jump. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna pull up. Bro, you're supposed to pull up on me. You're supposed to let me and Dave pull up. There's a gas station right ahead of you. You just tell me when we can slide. Text me the gate code. I'll slide through there. Like maybe at like small or something, or after Thanksgiving. After Alright. Hit me. I like when it's my POS is KIA.
Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right.
Yeah, go. Yeah, go bank that.
That's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match, and plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they think, they don't even gotta say it. No, they think
I just banked 1.2 earlier. That's like the most I ever did. Yeah, you need a faster car.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
So you say somebody else got Dalvin Cook, so he got Dalvin Cook as my running back over here? Who like that?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
42. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins. Check. Hey, Ken. Leave it. Bring up 48. Check 20. Hey, Steamer.
Cousins now. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
I'm about to get on some of this side.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Line out. Check 24.
Now Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the way?
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Here's Watson, option left. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
No, you can't. Look, turn, make a left. Then keep going straight. Make a left, make another left, and just follow that road. Yeah, my bad. I messed you up.
Faking the give. Now Watson.
Oh,
nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Let me get out here and help you.
Always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Here's Watson.
I'm trying to get the gas station in.
He's got Fuller. But he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
They own you.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your
defender. Here, make this left.
Give him a little something one way.
And then just go straight.
Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith. He's at the 50. The 40, past the 20, 10, 5.
I tried to be all quiet.
Get all the way home, but he will take this back down to about the 2-yard line. So quite a turn of events right there.
Indeed it is. I mean, they thought the worst that can happen
so long
is get a field goal attempt to break the tie. Instead, interception, long return. Now the other guys have a great shot to go ahead.
Suddenly it's first and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a tough one right there.
Remember, there's another jump there, too. You can jump basically into the garage. You just go around that corner. It's a big jump. It's a really big one.
Something a little more advantageous.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 20. And he will score. It's a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And it's the Cowboys that have moved out to an early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Oh, that boy sounds serious.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Check.
From the 41, Watson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Benardrick McKinney picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Hey, Ken.
To try again after the sack. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of fourth down, first down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on, because third down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. On play action, Cousins. And it's caught. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down.
Hey, watch out. Check right 54. Right 54. Watch the glass. Watch the glass.
Out of the gun, Watson. Into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he will be very close to a first down. I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Every time I see a coach challenge a spot, that makes me a little bit nervous for that coach. Those are very difficult to get overturned.
Well, the biggest reason, correct me if I'm wrong, is just technology. A lot of times you just don't have the angle.
Yeah, I think all the coaches, when they want to challenge that type of a play, they want to put the magnets or the things or the sensors in the ball to show exactly where it is. But right now, it's all about us humans.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Rush in. Rush in. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
To throw is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, baby. Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Point after, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
That sounds crazy as hell.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
What you doing, G-Son?
Losing.
Oh, yeah.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game,
I'm about to buy a car. I was fucking with a rap.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sideline.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up
I need to find Harrison Smith in any other league.
But I can
this
hear
nigga can hit,
and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That's the second time he made,
the friend
fumble,
there.
boy.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover.
Yeah, he hit
I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On 1st and 10, Watson trying to lay one up deep. He's got it at the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Texans have taken the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
That's what they was doing to me when I was at low level. They was doing that.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
This game seems like it's taking forever. I gotta remember
the Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Oh my God,
second down. Cousins. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Throwing. Cousins. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Cousins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Throwing is Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap. It felt like they had to try and keep him upright.
Hey, Charlie!
From the gun, here's Cousins. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's second down. Throwing again on second down. Cousins, and he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A first down throw for Cousins. There goes a deep ball, end zone. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like
so I'm past the 50. Can I go for it?
I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
It's halftime. We ain't gonna do this shit.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
It's 21-14. I ain't gonna put myself. Oh, what a fucking kick!
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're gonna mark this at the 4-yard line.
I put that nigga on the 4.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half.
7 pointers.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
That boy Harrison Smith, bro. I wouldn't mind picking him up on another league, bro. I'm going to be searching. Now, who the fuck got Harrison Smith? Let me get that nigga.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball down the field as well.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Now a first down throw, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Watson. He's going to air one out. They've got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. And an alley to run. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. They isolate Hopkins on the left side. 2nd and goal from the 1. Now Watson. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Get the fuck out of here.
And he's got room.
Bro, you should.
And this results in 6. Touchdown.
No way.
This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And
oh, my God.
Incomplete.
Oh, my God.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. This is brought in at the 21. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end of...
Touchdown, Houston! Duke Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off just shy of midfield. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They'll wind up losing 7 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They go to Johnson again, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Man, I'm trying to join y'all, man. This clock's doing fucking shit.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Watson off play action. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a run with Cook. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They go play action. Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins to throw it. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
I'm trying to do this 2 block, so I don't know. It's down to 4. Yeah, that's how bad it done got, man. I'm trying to 2 block. It's like 4:43 in the 4th. I'm trying to hurry and get
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question: what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Have a good night, man.
Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
On the ground, Richard. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
I was looking at his car. He caught this guy.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. On 2nd down now. It's Johnson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
1st down, Houston.
Come on, play the play.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Richard. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
We just started. Hold on.
But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Texans, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
He was just in here too.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Alright, sleep him up the same room.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be the best though. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more dress though. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy,
this nigga Stephon Diggs is crazy as hell.
What he do?
So he complained talking about, like, I got the Vikings in this Mad League, but he complained about not having, you know, enough touches and enough looks and shit, right?
Yeah.
This nigga gonna come around and say something. So I told him I'd get him more involved into the game or whatever this upcoming. So of course I did, but you know, excuse me, after the game he was like, nah, I know what you're gonna say. I wanted to